I've been playing my way through Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour to see if there's anything hidden in it that makes it worth the $10 they're charging for it. Short answer, no. Long answer, I found that it will actually cost you more than $10 if you want to play all of this game. In my preview video, I mentioned a cute little feature where if you don't have access to a 4K TV, you can skip those games and get the medals by tapping out a little SOS. Adorable. However, having got my hands on the full game and discovering exactly how much content is in it, I do think it's sad that people who have paid £7 for this game, as I did, could miss out on some of the few minigames and demos it actually has. Basically, it sucks that you don't get to access all of the game you paid for just because you didn't spend enough money on a shiny telly. But I'm more upset by another discovery I made much later into playing Welcome Tour. You will also miss out on gameplay if you don't have multiple Nintendo Switch 2 peripherals. First up is the Nintendo Switch 2 camera, which you will need if you want to play this rather charming face-pulling minigame, which we will never ever film ourselves doing IRL because the GIFs would haunt us forever. If you don't already have a compatible USB camera, you'll have to fork out for one or cough up 50 quid in UK money for Nintendo's official cam, at least if you want to play one of the most engaging games in Welcome Tour, which is really saying something. And it's not just there. Welcome Tour also has an area dedicated to the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller, which contains a minigame that requires you to use the GR and GL buttons. These buttons are only found on the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller or the Joy-Con 2 charging grip. So if you're not willing to fork out a minimum of £29.99, aka the UK recommended retail price of a Joy-Con 2 charging grip, the cheaper of the two options, you can't play all of this £7 game you most likely reluctantly paid for. The main problem for me is that it is tantalizingly out of reach. I think I would have felt differently had the minigame been hidden from me until I owned a compatible device, rather than dangled in front of my little avatar's non-face. We can at least console ourselves with the possibility that it may be a terrible minigame. So many of Welcome Tour's minigames feel like bland versions of the new Mario Party Jamboree minigames that will soon be arriving in its Switch 2 upgrade. And for others, let's just say calling them minigames is being overly flattering. But outside of endless quizzes and picking up other people's crap off the floor, there isn't much else to do in this virtual museum. So it's annoying that some of them are completely unplayable without digging further into our pockets. Let's just say we miss the days when Reggie convinced Nintendo to give everyone Wii Sports for free.